My child, I come to you now to share a truth that has been hidden for ages, a knowledge passed down through generations, now reaching your heart. This truth holds the key to unlocking wealth and success for those who trust in my power and understand that abundance is not by chance, but a promise I give to all my children. You did not end up here by mistake. It is no accident that you are hearing these words right now. I have brought you here because now is the time for you to discover the truth that will change everything in your life. For years, I have seen your struggles, your sleepless nights filled with worry about bills that don't add up, dreams that feel too far away, and the sense that you are stuck in a place you can't escape. But know this, all of that is about to change. I am the God of abundance, the creator of all the wealth in the world, the gold, the silver, the diamonds, and the opportunities others enjoy. These are not for just a few, but for all who are willing to hear my call and follow my path. The secret I am revealing to you now has changed the lives of thousands. People who once lived in fear and lack, who thought they would never escape their struggles, suddenly found everything shifting. Doors opened, opportunities arrived, money flowed, and prosperity came. And now, that same promise is yours. But to receive it, you must be ready to believe that I, your Lord, am speaking to you. You are here for a reason, and it is no accident. This is my call to a life of abundance, where you will no longer fear money, where you will be safe, secure, and blessed. The secret I am about to share with you is not new or created by man. It is based on ancient truths, sacred words that I placed in the Bible, and teachings that Jesus used when he walked the earth. This knowledge had been waiting for you for centuries. Today is the day. This is the moment. Are you ready to receive this blessing and leave behind scarcity to embrace the abundance I have set aside for you? If you feel this message is meant for you, declare "I believe" now, and mark your presence in this sacred space, because God is reading every word. Now that you know this secret, now that you see the doors of abundance opening for you, there's something important you must understand. This knowledge was not given to you just for yourself. It's not a personal privilege for you to keep hidden. I give you this secret so you can become an instrument of my will, a messenger of my blessing to others. Think of someone you care about, someone who is struggling as you once did, someone who wakes up in the middle of the night, worried about debts, with a feeling that they'll never escape their hardships. Imagine how their life could change if you shared this message with them. I didn't choose you by accident to receive this revelation. I chose you because I knew you would have the courage to share it and the love in your heart to want others to experience this blessing too. By sharing, you are not just spreading a message, you become a channel of my love and a part of my plan for abundance for all people. There are others who need this message right now, people lost and desperate, waiting for a word of hope, and that word can come through you. By sharing this video, by sending it to a friend, family member, or co-worker, you are changing their destiny. You are opening doors that were once shut and bringing light into their darkness. Understand that sharing this is not just an act of kindness, it is an act of faith. It is a statement that you believe in the power of this message, that you trust God speaks through it, and that lives will be transformed. Every time you share, you spread the blessing further, creating a chain of abundance that keeps growing and reaching more people. I see every person you send this message to, and I see the heart of the one who receives it and is ready to believe. And I reward those who share, because when you give, you receive. When you sow, you reap. When you share the blessing, it returns to you multiplied, overflowing, and abundant. Do not fear sharing. Do not worry that people will judge or think it's odd. Those who need to hear this message will recognize the truth it holds. Those with open hearts will feel the power of my words, and those who aren't ready will simply pass it on. But you will have done your part, fulfilling your mission. Share this video with someone you care about who needs to know that God has abundance for them too. They are not alone on this journey. Thousands of my children have already embraced this revelation, experienced the transformation from opening their hearts to divine abundance, and formed a community that supports and encourages each other. I want you to be a part of this community, to feel the warmth of this family, and receive the support of those who understand what you're going through. By subscribing to this channel, by liking this video, you are making a statement. You are telling the universe, telling me, that you are open to receiving more revelations, that you want to keep hearing my voice, and that you want to be part of this movement of faith and abundance transforming lives around the world. There are even deeper secrets and more powerful revelations waiting for you. Each video I post on this channel is a message for you at this exact moment in your life. It's a word that I have for you now, and by subscribing, you make sure you don't miss any of these important messages. You make sure you're here when I have something vital to tell you. Think about how many times you searched for answers and couldn't find them. How many times did you ask God for a sign and it seemed like you didn't get it? How often did you feel abandoned, as if God wasn't hearing your prayers? But remember, I have always been here, always speaking to you, but you simply weren't in the right place to listen. Now you found the channel through which I speak to you. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. When you like this video, you make a spiritual mark, a sign in the divine record, showing that you believe, that you have faith, that you are ready to receive. I see every like, every person who recognizes the power of this message, and I reward those who show their faith through simple but meaningful actions. The community here is special. It's not just a group watching videos, but a spiritual family brought together by faith, hope, and the belief that God has abundance for everyone. When you join this community, you receive spiritual protection, collective blessings, and the support of thousands of brothers and sisters walking the same path. There are people here who were once in the same place you are now, people who doubted, who were afraid, who couldn't believe change was possible. Today, they live in abundance, and their transformation stories will inspire you, strengthen your faith, and prove to you that it's real, that God speaks to you, and that abundance is waiting. Don't wait any longer. Don't wait for the next video. Don't put it off. This is your moment. Now is the time to make a choice. It's time to say yes to God, yes to abundance, yes to transformation. Like this video and subscribe to the channel now, because God wants you to never miss a message that can change your life. Now that you're part of this community, now that your heart is open to receive, it's time for me to reveal the knowledge that has been kept for centuries. There is a knowledge that only a few truly understand, a knowledge that many search for, but it is only accessible to those who are truly willing. This is the knowledge of the power of sacred words, the words I placed in the universe when I created everything. At the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with me, and the Word was God. All things were made through my words. When I spoke, the universe obeyed. When I said, "Let there be light," there was light. When I said, "Let there be sky," the heavens and the earth appeared. My words are not just sounds, they are pure power. They are divine energy that shapes reality, transforms situations, and opens doors that seem forever closed. And remember, This power is not just for me alone. I place the same power in the words I gave you in the Bible. Every verse, every psalm, every prayer in that sacred book contains power. They have the ability to transform your life, change your circumstances, and open the doors to abundance. But most people don't understand this. They read the words as if they are simply stories or moral lessons. They don't see that the words are alive, that they hold power, that they can shape reality. There is one specific psalm I placed in the Bible thousands of years ago, waiting for the right moment for you to find it. That psalm is Psalm 103. It's no accident that this number was chosen. No accident that this psalm contains the words it does. Every word in it was placed there with a purpose. Every phrase is meant to activate a specific power in your life. Psalm 103 is a song of praise and abundance, a declaration of gratitude and recognition of divine power. When you speak this psalm, you're not just reading words, you are calling on the presence of God. You are activating the power within those words. You are opening a spiritual portal for abundance to enter your life. But there is an even greater secret. There is a word I used when I was on earth, a word with greater power than any other, a word that was used to heal the sick, to give sight to the blind, to completely transform lives. This word holds such power that when you speak it with faith and true belief, the doors of heaven open to you. Many spend their entire lives searching for this knowledge. They study ancient texts, explore forgotten books, and travel far in search of the secret. But you are here, ready to receive this knowledge for free, simply because you had the courage to open your heart and believe. This knowledge is so valuable that people would pay vast sums to learn it, but I ask for nothing but faith. I ask that you believe that God is speaking to you, that you trust the sacred words hold power, and that you believe your life is about to change in ways you can't yet imagine. There is a divine code that has been hidden since the beginning of time, a code that holds the secret to unlimited abundance, boundless prosperity, and overflowing wealth. This code is represented by a sacred number that appears time and again in the Bible, in ancient writings, and in spiritual symbols that have endured through the ages. This number is 7, but it is not just 7. It is 7 repeated 4 times. It is 7 raised to its highest power, 777. The number 7 symbolizes divine perfection. When I created the world, it took 7 days, and on the 7th day, I rested. 7 represents completeness, totality, and absolute perfection. But when 7 is repeated 4 times, this power is multiplied. You raise divine perfection to a level beyond human comprehension, unlocking a code that opens the deepest spiritual doors. Many who have spent their lives studying sacred numerology have learned that 777 is an activation code. When you speak this number, write it, or comment it, you send a message to the spiritual universe. You declare that you understand divine power, that you are ready to receive abundance, and that you are activating the heavenly gates. There are people who commented 777 just once, and their lives were transformed completely. They received unexpected opportunities, found money in ways they cannot explain, and doors opened for them that once seemed locked forever. All because they understood the power of this code and had the courage to activate it. Are you ready to activate the divine code? Are you prepared to take part in the spiritual practice that has the power to change your life? Comment 777 now and activate the divine code of endless abundance in your life. Scarcity is a prison, but it's not just about money. It's a mental prison, a spiritual prison, a trap that holds your soul and keeps you from living the life I've meant for you. When you live in scarcity, you live in fear. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing what you have, fear of what's ahead, fear of not paying your bills, fear of not providing for your family. This fear is a chain, stopping you from dreaming, from growing, and from being who you truly are. But know this, scarcity is not your destiny. Scarcity is not God's plan for you. I didn't create you to live in fear and worry. I created you to live in abundance, in peace, knowing that you are safe, protected, and blessed. Scarcity is a lie, an illusion the world has taught you, a false belief instilled in you from childhood. But now you know the truth. Now you know there is a path to freedom. Many people spent their entire lives living in scarcity, born poor, growing up poor, believing they would die poor. They accepted scarcity as their fate until they discovered this knowledge. They learned the power of sacred words, activated the divine code, and their lives changed forever. They broke free from the prison of scarcity and embraced abundance. Now they live in peace, security, and prosperity. Liberation from scarcity begins when you realize that you are not a victim of your circumstances, not a prisoner of your past, and not bound to repeat the patterns of poverty that your parents lived through. You have power, the ability to change your life, and access to the divine force that can transform everything. All you need is to believe, to be willing to receive. But there is something crucial you must understand. Your freedom is not just for you. When you free yourself from scarcity, you become a tool for freeing others. When you experience abundance, you can help those still trapped. When you know the path to freedom, you can guide those who are lost. That's why I ask you to share this message. There are people in your life who are stuck in the same prison you were in. People who wake up at night with a racing heart, anxious about money. People who can't sleep, stressing over bills. People who have lost hope and believe they'll never escape their situation. You can be the one to free them. You can be the messenger through whom God speaks to them. By sharing this message, you can change their future. When you share, you're not just sending a video. You are offering freedom, hope, and the key that opens the door to their prison. And remember, I see every time you share. I see those who have the courage to share, those who care enough to want others to be free too. And I reward those who share. The liberation you offer will return to you, multiplied. Share this message with someone trapped in scarcity and be an instrument of divine freedom. The time has come to reveal the most powerful word that exists, a word used to change lives, heal the sick, open the eyes of the blind, and set prisoners free. This is the word I used when I walked among men as Jesus Christ. This word is so powerful that when you speak it with real faith, the universe itself must obey. The word is Ephatha. Say it with me, Ephatha. This is an Aramaic word, the language I spoke when I was on earth. It is not a common word. You won't find it just anywhere. It is a sacred word, one that carries pure divine power. When I said Ephatha, which means be opened, the ears of the deaf were opened. People who had been unable to hear for years suddenly heard perfectly. It wasn't magic, and it wasn't a trick. It was the power of the divine word showing up in the physical world. There is a story in the Bible that I want you to fully understand. They brought me a deaf man. He couldn't hear, and he struggled to speak. He was trapped in silence, cut off from others, unable to communicate or fully live. When I placed my fingers in his ears and said, Ephatha, something incredible happened. His ears opened. He began to hear. He began to speak clearly, and his whole life changed. But remember, this wasn't just a physical change, it was a spiritual one. When his ears opened, he didn't just start hearing sounds. He began hearing the voice of God. He began to understand divine truth and live a completely different life. The word Ephatha didn't just heal his body, it transformed his soul. Now I give you this same word. You have the authority to use it. You have the power to speak it and see change in your life. When you say Ephatha, you call on the same authority I had when I was on earth. You tap into the same power that healed the sick and freed the prisoners. You open doors that once seemed locked forever. There are doors in your life that need to open. Doors of opportunity, doors of relationships, doors of abundance that seem out of reach. When you say Ephatha with faith, these doors open not slowly, not little by little, but immediately, because you are using the word I spoke. You are acting with the divine authority I gave you. Many people spend their whole lives waiting for someone to open doors for them. They wait for someone to help, to save, to free them. But know this, you don't have to wait for anyone. You have the power within you. You have the authority. You can open your own doors and change your own life. Transformation starts when you realize that you are not powerless. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a child of God, and you have access to divine power. When you say Ephatha, you declare that you believe in this power. You are ready for transformation, and you open yourself to receive the abundance God has for you. Watch this video and subscribe to the channel to learn how to use the power of Ephatha to completely transform your life. There are doors in the spiritual realm that most people cannot see. These are not just ordinary doors, but doors that separate the physical world from the spiritual one. They control the flow of blessings, opportunities, and abundance into your life. For most, these doors stay closed because they don't know the secret to opening them. But for those who know the right word, for those who understand divine power, these doors open instantly. When you say Ephatha, you are not just speaking a word, you are activating a spiritual mechanism that has been in place since the beginning of time. You send a vibration through the spiritual realm that causes the heavenly doors to open. And when these doors open, incredible changes begin to unfold in your life. Many people have lived their entire lives with doors closed to them. They worked hard, did everything right, followed all the rules, but still, nothing seemed to work. Opportunities didn't come, money didn't flow, relationships didn't grow, and they couldn't understand why. They didn't realize that there were doors blocking the flow of their blessings. But when they learned to speak Ephatha, when they understood the power of this word, everything changed. The doors opened, and their lives were completely transformed. Once the heavenly doors open, you start experiencing synchronicities, meeting the right people at the right time, receiving opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere, having ideas that lead to success. You'll notice a series of events that seem like coincidences, but they are actually divine blessings flowing through the open doors. There is always a flow of abundance available in the universe, and it is always there, waiting for you. However, this flow is blocked by closed doors. Most people are unable to access it because they don't know the key to open these doors. They live their lives only receiving scraps, not realizing they could have complete abundance. But you are not like most people. You know the key. You know the word. You have access to the doors. When the heavenly doors open, you don't just receive money, you receive peace, security, the certainty that God is watching over you, that you are protected, and that you are blessed. You get the freedom to live without fear, without worry, and without anxiety. You receive the life you have always dreamed of living. There are people who have opened the heavenly doors, and their lives changed in just a few days. People who were unemployed suddenly got amazing job offers. People buried in debt found opportunities to earn money they never imagined. People who felt alone found relationships that completed them. All of this happened because they understood the power of Ephatha. All because they had the courage to speak the word and believe that the doors would open. The heavenly doors do not open for those who doubt. They do not open for those who are afraid or for those who do not believe. They only open for those who have true faith, who believe in the power of God, and who are willing to receive divine abundance. Are you ready to open the heavenly doors? Are you ready to let abundance flow into your life? Are you ready to experience the blessings that are waiting for you on the other side of those doors? Now is the most important moment. The moment when you need to make a decision that will change your life forever. You can continue living as you have been, trapped in scarcity, full of fear and worry, waiting for something to change. Or you can take an act of faith. You can speak the word. You can declare your intention to the universe. You can open the heavenly doors, and you can let abundance pour into your life. An act of faith is not something difficult or complicated. It doesn't require years of preparation or special knowledge. It's simple. It's saying yes to God. It's believing that divine power is real. It's speaking the word and believing the doors will open. It's making a personal declaration that you are ready to receive abundance. There is great power in making a personal declaration. When you say something out loud, when you declare something with conviction, you are shaping your reality. You are sending a message to the spiritual world that you believe, that you are ready, that you are open to receiving. And the universe responds. Doors open, opportunities begin to appear, and abundance starts to flow. Many people hesitate to take an act of faith because they fear looking foolish. They fear nothing will happen. They fear believing in something they can't see or touch. But remember, faith is not about seeing. Faith is about believing. Faith is trusting that God is powerful, that God wants the best for you, and that God has abundance waiting for you. There are people who took a simple act of faith, and their lives changed completely. People who spoke Ephatha just once and felt a shift in their spirit. People who made a personal declaration and immediately started seeing signs that doors were opening for them. People who had the courage to believe and were rewarded with an abundance that far exceeded their expectations. Your personal declaration doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as saying out loud, I believe the heavenly doors are opening for me. I believe God has abundance for me. I believe my life is about to change. I speak Ephatha and open the doors to wealth, health, happiness, and peace. When you make this declaration with true faith, something changes inside of you. Something shifts in the spiritual world. The doors begin to open. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Every moment you wait is a moment the doors stay closed. It's a moment when abundance doesn't flow into your life. It's a moment you can never get back. But if you act now, if you take an act of faith now, you can start experiencing the transformation right away.